Hello there, friends. So what's going on with Grayscale Bitcoin and how is this tied to the Roca Negra Bitcoin spot ETF, which is a Trojan horse? How are they linked? Well, I'm going to use a different name besides the CEO of Grayscale. I'm going to use a name that you'll never guess. Barry Shilbert. Okay, now Barry Shilbert, remember, it's not the CEO, but Barry Shilbert, he or she last year did a lot of accounting irregularities, Ponzi, weird stuff, and it risked Grayscale Bitcoin. Now, unfortunately, the government is now using this as leverage, their perfect trap. So what's happening is the Bitcoin spot ETF is not an up-only pumpermental. They have only roughly like 69,000 Bitcoin in inventory. And then you're going to say, but sir, more buying will come. The Bitcoin spot ETF, confirmed basically by Max Kaiser, it's probably going to be cash in, cash out only, which means you can't buy Bitcoin and redeem it out. No, which is very, very sad. It's not an up-only Ponzi. It is claimable only by fiat cash. Now, why is the government doing this and how is it linked to Barry Shilbert? Now, Barry Shilbert, like I said, they brought him into a dark room. They took off his shirt. They got the candle, put hot candle wax over his nipples. He couldn't take it anymore and he squealed. And he goes, I don't want to liquidate my GBTC and send Bitcoin to $5,000, sir. So what's happened is he is now their emergency inventory in case there's a run. You see, friends, you probably think I'm making this up, but I'm not, because I'm going to tell you right now, this has happened before in history with gold. Let me show you. Now, this is a 3-month chart of gold, and you can see in the 1970s, gold did like a 22x. And this was one of the most embarrassing times for fiat and world governments ever, because gold did a 20x, and even central banks, yes, US Fed chairmen have said on record, our biggest mistake was letting the gold price run out of control, which is funny because they didn't say our biggest mistake was leaving interest rates too low, or our biggest mistakes was printing money and giving it to our crony friends in the shadow wing and letting it leak out. No. That wasn't the mistake. The mistake was letting people buy spot gold. That was their mistake. And guess what? They were still talking about that 20, 30 years later, friends. The government knows now. They know their biggest fear and worry is when you and me can see another currency pumping, just like Bitcoin, okay? Now, here's the funny part. Bitcoin, friends, it's their kryptonite. But did you honestly think, friends, they think we're criminals. They think everybody in crypto is a criminal. Do you honestly think they're going to give a gun to a criminal? You know what the gun is, friends? Now, a proper Bitcoin spot ETF is literally not just a gun. It's a bazooka. And it's literally aimed right at their cities. They're not going to let that happen. So, of course, everything that's happening is true. Now, of course, Barry Shilbert, he had to make a deal with the devil. So, their 600,000 Bitcoin, remember I told you, okay, how is it their emergency inventory fund? Well, if Bitcoin ever got out of control and they need to stop it, now they can call Barry and they say, hey, you're going to sign this deal or your other nipple's going to get it. He's like, no, please, not the other nipple. What they're going to do is, friends, it's so obvious. They did this before in gold. They're doing this right now. Okay. As the price goes up, they will give existing Grayscale Bitcoin holders cash. And they'll say, hey, let's say Bitcoin's screaming one day, friends. Let's say actually Bitcoin's 250,000 and the government's like, oh, what do I do? What they're going to do is, it could even be 80,000. Who knows? We don't know the price. Where the government squeal. Where the government gets worried, they go to the GBTC holders. They go, hey, good news for you. Bitcoin is, $100,000. We're going to give you $103,000 for it. And they're like, wow. But here's the thing. You will be forced to redeem it into a US bank. And guess what? When they're doing this, friends, they're going to copy what they did here in Australia. You can't put more than $10,000 per month, per person, back into crypto. So they get everybody to cash out, and guess who gets all the spot Bitcoin? Now the government has it. What do you think they're going to do now? Now they can crush the spot price if they need to. if they need to. It would be the emergency one at the very end, okay? So don't think, oh, all of this is going to happen and they're going to get some Bybit degen trader from the US Fed to do this. No. This works in steps. They have the Bitcoin futures ETF. So friends, it's a multi-step process. So for example, they've got the Bitcoin futures ETF to try to scam everybody. And now with this spot ETF, it's a fiat Ponzi one. It's not even a real spot ETF, okay? It's just like pretend. And they have these emergencies just in case things like start to run away from them. So remember, at the end of the day, they have to keep the price of Bitcoin down. That's it. They have to keep it down, and they have to keep everybody from knowing how bad inflation really is. Because, friends, this is the thing, man. Satoshi, in his forum posts, was yelling at one dude saying, shut up, shut your mouth, don't tell them what we're doing. We are not ready. You do not want to go and basically poke the bear. You don't want to poke the bear, friends. Don't let them know we are a proxy for your money printing. What did everyone go and do? Yep. Oh, corrupt SEC. Let's go ban altcoins, blah, blah, blah. What they don't know is they're literally shooting themselves in the foot. Now it's too late. Obviously, there's too many people know about it, friends. You know, it's not even about Chinese whispers or anything. I mean, like it's coming around here, and I'm showing you there's 419 million people in crypto. Like, clearly the government, they know about it, everything that's going on. So look, you know, if we look at a chart, for example, okay, like you can look at this and go, okay, well, where do you think they're going to do the emergency plans? Well, you don't know. Yeah, it's going to be 80K. It's going to be 250K, 300K, right? The thing is, you can be basically guaranteed they're going to do it at some point. But like I said, they never do the full whip. Okay, they don't. Yes, they've got multi-barbed whipped lashes out there. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Okay, but they don't need to do that, friends. First, they like flick you in the nuts. Okay, they flick you in the nuts. Do you cry and go home? Some of us, we have strong nuts. We stand there. Okay, then they kick you in the nuts. And then you stand there, nothing. And then they start slapping you in the face. And then at the very, very end, what they do is they bring the hot candle wax on your nipples at the end. Look, at the end of the day, this Grayscale Bitcoin, it's their inventory that they were meant to buy. Now, do we have 100% concrete evidence of this? No, but let me tell you something. We know they do this in gold. How? How do we know they do this in gold, friends? Because, and I made a post on this, God bless your hearts, one very bored dude, but thank God for this man. During the GFC, Goldman Slugs, the bank, you've heard of them, they went bankrupt. But they wanted a bailout from the government. And so, part of the law was we can only bail you out if you're a retailer bank. Goldman Slugs never took in any retailer money because it's too small for them. So then they set up a system in the midst of the GFC. In like one weekend, they did the fast tracking and Goldman Slugs became a retailer bank. And then they applied for the bailout and they got rescued. Now, in the midst of becoming a retailer bank, this is the funny part. One of the clauses is all your books must be open for the people. It's part of the US law. It's actually really cool. So what one dude did is I don't know why, he went through all 40,000 pages of their books. And for some reason, this dude got his calculator out and calculated every single person's account, every cross-trading, futures, the position of the whole firm, the whole Goldman Slugs, and the whole bank, everything. And guess what he discovered? He discovered that Goldman Slugs were short the notional value of 2 times the entire world's gold supply. All right? 2 times the world's gold supply. That is the equivalent of being short 42 million Bitcoin. How does somebody get short 42 million Bitcoin when only 21 million exist on Earth? Well, it's because they're scum and because they were playing the poopy game. Let me show you the poopy game. The bug eaters started playing the poopy game, friends, when gold broke its all-time high here. You see this? You see up here? See gold started going up? I'm going to show it for you right now. Okay, so remember, they started printing money. These are 3-month charts, okay? Look at this. Look at this. You see here? Something started happening. Bang, 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 bang. I want to show you where the GFC 2008 was. Here it was here. See here? So Goldman Slugs were short. This is from what we know, friends. Who knows? They're old deleted accounts. Goldman Slugs were basically short for the government, collecting gold the whole time. But guess what happened? They got blown out. They got blown out because the rally of gold was so fierce and strong. So the government wasn't even really prepared for how much demand there would be. Because remember, look at this. Gold before that time, look how much, since the 1980s, it never went anywhere. That's why they were caught off guard. Look at this. So for literally, that's 10,000 days since the 1980. Wow. So like for 20 something years, yes, they were keeping a clamp on it, but you know, they were shocked by how much it went. That's why now they just turn up the level of scamming and grifting, which is what they do. Okay. So this is what's happening now in crypto. So now you get to see, right? So imagine Goldman slugs who are short 2 times the world amount of gold. Okay. That's why when I show you this chart now, okay, and now we've told you idiots, you go to the government and you go, we are going to take on the US dollar. We are Bitcoin Maxi. Fix the money, fix the world. Are you stupid? They have 85% US dollar dominance, man. They got UFO ships underneath, friends. You honestly think they're scared of you? And now you're basically telling them and preparing them for this. So these people don't know what they're doing, okay? But they do know. You know what they're doing, friends? They're trying to use the rest of the world as exit liquidity. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. It's like, well, if I yell loud enough, maybe the government gives a Bitcoin spot ETF and it's the final pump. So you look beneath the surface of this Bitcoin spot ETF, it looks yucky, isn't it? So what's their plan? Well, I'm guessing, this is just guessing, friends. I don't know. At some point, the government and they have shadow wings, friends. It's the US Fed. The US Fed, number one goal is to defend the sanctity of the US dollar. It's basically to make sure that the US dollar has 85% world dominance and it never drops. That's what it has right now. This includes this internet money, this poopy, these like financial terrorists, shadow people. So at some point they're going to do this, but it depends how high Bitcoin goes. So that's what me and you don't know. Me and you as friends with straight postures, okay, me and you don't know at what point do they get really scared, okay? But this is the tough part here, because this is the tough part, friends. You can't buy spot Bitcoin that much with like, you know, local people here and there, like you could with gold, right? So the government, remember, they know where the big exchanges are. We think it's a coincidence. Okay, all their plan is they're routing through Coinbase. They know what to do now. Okay, this Bitfinex, Tether, they've hired the CIA and FBI. So there you go. Bitfinex can never have a spot run. They took down CZ and Binance. So there you go. Binance can never have a spot run because the institutions aren't even allowed with it. So the institutions are all only allowed through Coinbase. If only you had a friend who 1 year ago, literally, friends, I was saying this during 2022 bear market. I said the US government, did you go back and watch my videos and my posts? I said the US government have one goal, and that is to make sure all the volume is trading with Bitcoin versus a USD stablecoin that they control. So that's probably why they infiltrated Tether, because Tether, BTC USDT, highest volume in the world. And guess what? They couldn't infiltrate Binance. So they go, okay, we can't infiltrate you. We're going to take you down. All right. Now you're seeing how all of this works. And this all comes under the umbrella of then they fight you face. Okay. First they ignore, which is the first cycle. Then they laugh at you, which is John McAfee going to eat his wheelie in 2017. All right. Then first they ignore. Then they laugh. Okay. Also laughing Dogecoin. Now we're in then they fight you phase. They're here to actual fight. Okay. They're here to actually, like, the gloves are coming off. And then obviously we win, but that comes later. But this is going to be a tough battle. So remember, you're seeing all of this. We've gone through so much information, and all comes down to, remember, that Grayscale Bitcoin. There's 600,000 Bitcoin on there. So the government knows. They go, hey, you know, if our futures scamming doesn't work and restricting the amount of money going into crypto exchanges doesn't work, they're putting all these things. And remember, friends, they're going to try ban self-custody. They're doing all of these things. They've infiltrated Uniswap. That's why fake DeFi Uniswap, they're infiltrated as well. MetaMask is compromised. Obviously, friends, we're getting an Ethereum ETF. Why? It's because, I hate to say it, Ethereum's compromised too. And I hate to say it, it's just true. It's true. Ethereum's compromised. The government knows what to do if they need to stop some sort of business process on that. They know what to do. Okay, they look at all the solutions. They know exactly what they have to go through. So all of these are compromised, and that's where it comes down to. This is the game. This is what happens. But if you want to onboard the world, this is what happens, man. So yes, it's not just a bleak picture. if you want more money coming in, this is what you have to go through. This is unfortunately the reality of, we're not that early in crypto anymore. That's why the best time to buy it when it was a scam. But you had to believe in the journey. So now you're seeing all the pieces of the puzzle. They're unfolding day by day. I just want you to know one thing. Don't worry about the story. The story is great. It's captivating. You get to see it. Let me tell you something. The charts will tell you everything you need to know. Okay? Because the price action is going to say everything. And trust me, how many times I told you, friends, they are not going to put in their really draconian, strict crypto regulation stuff until they trap everybody first. Okay? They have to trap everybody first. You saw last year at the bottom of Bitcoin, we were still fighting against the regulation. That pisses off the government because they're like, oh my gosh, these people are down 99% and they still freaking won't give up their rights. So then they go, all right, next wave, that's what, friends, most of society is just sheeps. You know that, right? You know that, right? From many examples out there. So, most society is sheeps and people just want to follow the order and they just want to listen to the government. It's probably like 70% of people, minimum. So the government knows, okay, if this thing keeps growing and they keep onboarding more people and we have to get more baby boomers out, it's just a matter of time before these people go through a downswing and they have to get wrecked. Okay. Now, funny, one of my friends also said, okay, hey, but the stock market goes through downswings too. And I said, yeah, but guess what? The boomers and all the bug eaters, right, when they do their poopery, they print money and they rescue the stock market. Every time there's capitulation, they drop rates of print money, put it back up. Okay. If things dropped and stayed down, people would go for the actual real reasons why it crashed, and the government's not going to like that because it might be a revolution overnight when they figure out what's been going on behind the curtains. So that's why they keep printing. They got to keep the up-only Ponzi going up. Okay, but they got to wait for the disaster first. With crypto, we don't have that. Okay, if crypto drops 90% market cap tomorrow, there's no government rescue, and that's what they want. Because in that midst of that disgusting crash, like if we get a short and bull market, the government can then say, well, I think proof of work is pretty dirty. Hey, or I think we got to regulate crypto more. And people are going to be like, yes, do whatever you can to make sure my children can never buy this thing. That's how the game is going. That's why everybody's looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum. You got to look at the high growth altcoins, friends. Yes, I love Pulse Chain, PulseX, and Hex. There's other ones out there. Is this going to be the final one? I don't think so, but maybe you got to play like it is. You got to be long and strong. You got to be super long, friends. You got to be like really, really, really long, because if they start capping it and it's lower than what you think, you can't go back in time to buy more. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button and all. Tell mum and dad we do love and appreciate them. Catch you very soon.